that sort of thing. In my view, what they were doing is, to be very frank about it, dishonest. They were taking a case law test from another area of law with a similar name, which almost can bamboozle lay people, so to speak. Contract law has a concept of mutuality of obligations, and they were using that definition. Now, that is a test for whether or not a contract exists, not the nature of that contract. So if you look at contract law, they will say, is there a mutuality of obligation? This is why you get peppercorn payments and all that kind of thing to satisfy it. I mean, literally, a peppercorn can satisfy that test. Whereas in employment law, what they're really looking at, if we're going to put it simply, is security of contract, security of your role, your job, effectively. And that test looks for an irreducible minimum. Is it sufficiently strong to render one party master and the other servant? And by supplanting one test with the other, HMRC has effectively overlooked one of the key factors in what constitutes genuine self-employment. Are you at risk? Is your home at risk? I mean, could you end up suddenly with no work? With no, if you fall sick, as happens in life, and you can't get any work for 6 months, what happens there? These are the financial risks that HMRC is trying to disregard by deliberately trying to omit mutuality of obligations. So I think that gives you a kind of flavour of where we're coming from. I'm sure we'll be discussing in more detail shortly, but suffice it to say we are not best impressed with how things have gone, and we think it's a danger to patients as well, because workers will not travel, essentially, so they won't fly across the country as they used to do to cover shifts at short notice, and this fuels rota gaps. Of course, that's multifactorial, but it's, we think, a major contributing factor. We've got evidence that can supply later on if you wish to delve into more detail about the degree to which that has occurred.
That would be very helpful.
Yeah.
So I just wanted